Thanks, Giancarlo, for inviting us here to Pee Wee's Playhouse. I think a little guy's going to jump out of the corner with the red bow tie. No, but I mean, this year has been a great year for me. I lost 60 pounds. Thank you. You guys have any idea how much 60 pounds is? That is like losing one of the Olsen twins. Every time Shaq takes a shit, he loses 60 pounds. And it took me fucking 18 months. All this guy has to do is go to the bathroom. Jealous. No, a big part of losing my weight was Weight Watchers. Are you guys familiar with the program? If you need some coaching later on, come see me. I think some of you might. No, but I love the program. I'm able to eat whatever I want. I love the meetings. And I really love the meetings because I fit right in. It's me and 25 middle-aged housewives. I feel like I'm at the fucking Oprah show. You know? It's crazy every single time. And they love me. I don't know if it's the chest hair. I don't know if it's because I help them out at Weight Watcher meetings. I don't know if it's, the favors I do around the house for them. I'm like an Adonis, the 50-year-old fat chick. It's crazy. But, I mean, in addition to Weight Watchers, I also hired a personal trainer. Anybody in the room have one? Yeah, I know, you all look broke as a joke. Cheap fucks, that's why you're here also. $6, I know. No, I hired a personal trainer, and I thought I was going to be the next Arnold Schwarzenegger in pumping iron. Like pumping the weights, lifting, push-ups, pull-ups, but no. This guy fucking hands me a jump rope. Jump rope. Can you imagine? The only thing I think of when I see a jump rope is a little black girl in the streets of Harlem after school. Strawberry shortcake, cream on top. What? You think it's funny that I jump rope and that's how I lost my weight? I dare any of you to challenge me after this show to a jump-off-a-thon. Any takers? That's what I thought. No, so who in the room is from New York? Woo! Who didn't clap? You can't even see these lights over here. Who didn't clap? Who's not from New York? Who's not a New Yorker here? Woo! Where the fuck are you from?
Kansas.
Go fucking back. A nice New York welcome for me. No, I mean, I love New York. Born and raised Brooklyn, in the house. Okay, so there's no people from Brooklyn. Usually when I do that and there's people from Brooklyn, they do something like, woo, or, you. One of those Brooklyn noises. But I love New York City. And I think I love New York City for some different reasons than most people. Number one, the subway. I've been taking the subway since I'm like 8 years old. All right, I've used it to get around the city. My mom never had to drive me anywhere. Now if a kid does that, an 8-year-old goes on the subway, they're at the parent's door the next morning with child services taking the kid away. I mean, there were child molesters when I was that age. So, I don't think they all began coming out of the woodwork in 2000 for the millennium. But yeah, I love the subway. And I mean, every time you go on the subway, it's like you're making a life decision to go underground, go down below, right? There's like ethical decisions involved. You're scared for your life. You're watching your wallet. There's rodents running over your feet. But I mean, take for example, you get on the train at the first stop. The seats fill up right away, right? Obviously I get a seat, and a woman walks on, a middle-aged woman. She's not that hot, but I'm like, obviously offer her my seat. Because trying to be polite. But, I also want to take a nap on the way to work. So should I get up and give her my seat, or should I sleep for the rest of the way? If I don't give up my seat, I'm probably going to hit my lightning when I walk upstairs, so I usually give up the seat. And then there's like the so-called possible pregnant lady that comes on the chair. We've all seen it. It's like, all right, she's got a little bump in her stomach. She could be pregnant, or she could just need to go to Weight Watchers. Shit, what do? Do you get up and say, oh, here's the seat? You could try and be really nice. And the pregnant woman will take your seat, but if they're not, then it's like, just this guy's called me fat, and he wants to give up his seat for me. Like, what the fuck? You're such an asshole. So it's like a dilemma every single day. Then you got the guys that play their music, right? Like they just carry a phone and there's no headphones, and they're like, all right, maybe sometimes I like the song, grooving out to it, but then there's other times where I'll be like, get some fucking headphones or shut that shit off. You know, it used to be I gotta come onto the train with the big boom box. That is putting in effort. If you're gonna do that and you're blasting your music, please blast it. But we have headphones, we have iPods. If I wanted to hear whatever song you're playing, I'd go home and download it. I mean, it's ridiculous. Then, my next favorite thing about New York, jaywalking. Do we have any jaywalkers in New York? Yeah. Go to any other city and people look at you like you're fucking nuts when you jaywalk. You're in San Diego with a bunch of people from California and the light's red, but there's no cars coming, so I start going. And they're like, wow, what are you doing? Crossing the street? What do you expect? But the light's red. Yeah, and so, like, in New York we take pride in that shit, right? Like, the light is red, I'm going anyway. I don't care if this car's coming or not coming. Like, those lights are there for decoration. Like, red, white, green, it's Christmas time, like, fuck it, you know, like, I'm just gonna do that shit. And we're gonna do it in style, right? Like, walking down the street, taxi comes, you just look him up and down, you keep walking, and if he hits you, guess what? It's a recession. I'm gonna make some money. What the fuck is a broken ball? Seriously. I mean, the next thing about New York that I love is that there's a fucking parade for everything. Seriously. The gays have a parade. The Puerto Ricans have a parade. The Israelis have a parade. The West Indians have a parade. That's a good one. But I mean, what's the one thing that always happens at a parade? Every single parade. Someone gets arrested. Always. The gays run around naked, you know, scarring kids for life in the West Village. I mean, maybe it's being a New Yorker, but maybe it's just, it's fucked up. Like you're watching this guy run around naked. The Puerto Ricans, well, I'll let you guys Google that, but you know, I think you know what's happened at that parade before. The Israelis, they fucking flood the street with hummus. Imagine that cleanup for the Department of Sanitation. The cops can't let that go. And the West Indians, they just smoke a lot of pot. So, that's a good parade. You know, I mean, while I love the hummus and everything, I prefer the West Indians. You know, lately I took the day off last week and I sat home and I was watching some TV movies. You know, and why is it that when you watch a TV movie that's supposed to be an hour and a half, that shit takes like 2.5 hours to watch? Like, all I want to do is watch Dodgeball, okay? Like, I don't need to see the Maxi Pad commercial and like the acne cleanser commercial too. It's ridiculous. And lately I've also been seeing a bunch of these commercials for the Army. And that shit is like, it's real fucked up. It's so like subliminal messaging. I wake up in the middle of the night wanting to join the Army, just hearing that like song in my head. You know the song, it's like, ba ba da 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 da. Right, you're getting pumped up right now? And then, in the background in the commercial, it looks like a video game. They're like flying helicopters, driving tanks around, like it's out of control. Killing Arabs. What little kid wouldn't want to do that? So fucked up. But I mean, we should take a moment to thank our servicemen and women over Iraq. Seriously, change the fucking commercial. Thank you, everybody.